What is going on, guys? It's the Mare Dragon. So it's a Monday, and that can mean only one thing. The rugby has gone on over the weekend, so we need to take a look at the world ranking, seeing what's been updated, any changes that have gone on. There's a lot of things to cover today, and then afterwards, of course, we will go over the Superbru, the results that happened from the weekend. A lot of fun to check out. So starting out with the world rankings. Now, as you can see over here, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of games going on in the background, some games I didn't know were going on, so kind of fun to check out some of these. So a lot of these big movers are going to be lower down the board, so let's have a little bit of a scroll down, because it's fun. It's fun to learn about some of these sort of tier 2, tier 3 nations going on. So Ukraine move up. Ukraine doing well in their rugby, apparently, whereas Czech moving down a little bit there, a little swap around in that position. Tunisia, Paraguay, the Philippines, and Mexico all on the move up the board slowly. Croatia falling down that board. I believe Sweden also played on the weekend. Maybe I'm thinking of Switzerland. There was a lot of different games on, which I really wish I could get some coverage for on the channel, but unfortunately, there's just no way to watch these games as far as I'm aware in the UK. We've got Malta moving up. We've got Sri Lanka and Lithuania both falling a little bit. And then as we scroll right down to the bottom, Denmark and Venezuela on the up. Slovenia dropping down to that 35-point marker. And we move all the way down. No changes all the way down there. I find it incredible that there's this many different teams that I just never got to see a game of rugby for. So that's really fun. Getting to check those out. Now, some of the more eagle-eyed viewers will notice that in these big movers and big fallers and what have you, one of the areas a lot of people we want to talk about is the top 10. Obviously, the Autumn Nations is now on. Now, there's two games on here where it doesn't seem like any score has been updated. Now, they're starting off with New Zealand versus Japan, and then also Scotland versus Australia. Now, I'm not sure why these aren't updated, because there definitely should be some point shifts. I've gone back and had a look at the scores from the Rugby Championship video that we did, the final round of that, and these scores have not been updated, so not really sure why. So what I've done, I've gone elsewhere and actually found a calculator. Now, this is a really fun little tool. If anyone is interested in learning a bit more about the world ranking, seeing how they all move, you can basically go in, put the scores that happened on the weekend, and it'll even show you I believe what the points difference will be. So obviously you could see here that if Australia won this game against Scotland, they get a 1.43 increase. If it was a draw, Australia actually get a small bonus. They get a 0.43 upgrade. And if Scotland had won, they also get a bonus on their side. But as you can see, it's much, much less than that one. Not really sure what the bigger number's about. Maybe that's if they win by like a heavier defeat or a heavier win. I'm not sure how they're affected, but it's a really nice little tool just to find out about. So in terms of like predicted rankings, we do have this board over here, which we can go by for the top 10. At least it's something to work from. Normally, these sort of predictions end up being pretty much correct anyway. So we've got some big shifts here as well to talk about. So New Zealand beating Japan, obviously playing away, the way the world rankings works. If you beat a team that's playing at home, you basically absorb some of their points. They lose the same amount of points that you gain. And if you beat the team that's away, even if they're lower in the table than you, you actually do earn quite a few points. If they're higher in the table than you earn a lot of points. So New Zealand go up by 0.34, obviously meaning Japan will drop down 0.34. No one really switching round from those results. There's still quite a big jump between 4th and 3rd there in order for New Zealand to climb back up. I forgot how close South Africa and France actually were. Of course, we're going to be seeing these teams playing pretty soon, so there could be some shifts around for top spots. However, one of the big talking points here, Australia go from 6th up to 9th with a big increase, considering they only won by 1 point. That is an enormous boost for them coming up, because obviously they were in 9th. They've gone away. They've beaten Scotland at home. So they get a big increase there. So Australia actually move up from 9th up to 6th, gaining that 1.3 raise. And then Scotland are going to drop down exactly the opposite way. And as you can see, these teams are so close now. From 9th going through to about 6th, actually. They're all within 1.5 points of each other. So big switches, like a 1.4 difference, really makes that jump move around a lot. So Australia move to 6th and Scotland fall down to 9th. Feels a bit harsh considering how close that game was. It's been really interesting reading your guys' comments on the review video that we've done. If you haven't seen that one already, feel free to go check that one out after this one. Moving on from the world rankings then, let's talk about the Superbru. So we did actually manage to get 18 people in. I think that's fairly similar to what we got for the Rugby Championships. So nice to see people still continuing on with this. I know it's not the fantasy one, it's only the predictor, but a lot of people do enjoy getting involved. So we've got our little scoreboard here. It's a little bit tricky to understand what that means. We'll go on to the actual results later, but I thought we'd start off by having a look at the matches. So first of all, Japan versus New Zealand. Of course, a game that ended up being a lot closer than I expected, and a lot closer than anyone else expected by the looks of it. So Japan 31, New Zealand 38, won by 7 points. As you can see from the group, everyone getting involved here. everyone backed New Zealand. Most likely that was going to be the way it went. However, not many people expected it to be a 7-point difference, including myself. You can see where I am over here. I am way off this mark, and not a lot of people at all going for the right call. So in terms of this game then, everyone got 1 point who did play. There was a couple of people who didn't actually manage to get their picks in time for this one, which is a shame. But the area you wanted to be in here, Roach and Oscar coming in there with getting their little half bonus point as well for being within 4 and 9. However, it was Oscar that took the bonus point for getting the closest to the mark. That's incredibly close. 3 difference for Roach, 2 difference for Oscar, so incredibly close there in terms of some of those scores. But yeah, a lot of us way off down here. Everyone sort of joined me. Some people went up. Thomas there on 54 for a major blowout. I've seen some highlights of this game. Looked like a really good game. Hopefully you guys got to watch it live. And then in terms of the second game of the weekend, Scotland versus Australia now. This one a bit more of a split board. Nice to see, of course, Australia winning that game by 1 point. Very close. Could have gone either way. I did change my pick to by 4. I think in the previous video I said my prediction was Australia by 2, but I ended up still being technically the closest. So although Roach is 2 away and I'm 3 away because I picked the correct team to win, which is why I get the bonus point there. But yeah, real split here. Some people really thought it could be 1 point like Roach for Scotland going all the way through to 10. You have people like me going low end Australia all the way up to bagging machine up there on 53 to Australia. A lot of confidence in that Australia team for a big blowout for this game. But looks like I managed to get closest on that one. So in terms of the overall leaderboard then, I mean the rounds on the leaderboard is exactly the same. You guys get to see me at the top. Now, mark this occasion because I don't typically do very well in the Predictor series, so this may be one of the few occasions you ever get to see me top of this board. It'll probably be the only time during this Autumn International, so hey, congratulations to me. Sounds a bit arrogant, but there we go. Me at the top, Oscar coming in second, not far behind. I'm on 3.5, Oscar is on 3, and then we've got a triple third place here between Bowie, T. Davis, and Bubbles coming in there on 2.5. The only thing separating you guys that we now know, we've been learning a bit more about Superbru, is this points difference effectively. So depending on how much you guessed and how far away you were, that is what puts you in order when you end up on the same amount of points and win points and what have you like that. A couple of people sharing this 2-pointer for getting the correct calls but not being within that close marker. And then finally some people down here on 1.5s and 1s. I'm going to guess everyone here pretty much picked New Zealand and Scotland to win. I'm going to guess is what that separation is. But of course we're on week 1. There is like a million games going on. Now obviously there's a lot still to play for because obviously next week we have all of these games. Like there's so many games going on, and then we get to have that for also round 3, round 4, and then round 5 is a little bit quieter. So there's an awful lot more picks. A half-point difference like what I'm on currently will not be winning any of this tournament. So make sure you guys do check out the Superbru every single week. Make sure you put in your scores, and thank you to everyone who has signed up. If you've enjoyed this video today, remember to subscribe and drop this video a like. And hopefully I'll see you guys later on in the week for some of the preview videos for the games coming out on the weekend. I'll see how many I can bash out. There's an awful lot of games to cover for the preview videos. So make sure you do keep an eye on the channel towards Thursday, Friday to see all those videos up on the channel. I hope you've all enjoyed today, guys. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.